Of all the traitors who turned against the Emperor during the Horus Heresy, one of the most prominent was the head chaplain of the Word-Bearers Legion, known as Erebus. Referring to himself as the Hand of Destiny, it was through his influence that the Primarch Lorgar Aurelian and eventually Horus Lupercal fell under the influence of the Dark Powers. After Lorgar was punished by the Emperor for leading worlds conquered by the Word-Bearers into worshipping the Emperor as a god incarnate, Erebus informed Lorgar that other gods existed that could be, and would demand to be, worshipped. After leading the Legion into the Eye of Terror on a pilgrimage, Lorgar and his Legion fully embraced the Dark Gods, and the events of the Horus Heresy began to be set in motion. It's unknown exactly when Erebus began orchestrating events that would lead to the Horus Heresy, but they all began with him becoming a devout follower of the Chaos Gods. Did Erebus's fall to the Gods of Chaos occur due to his own volition? Or was he manipulated in doing so? While it's known that Erebus was a follower of the Covenant of Colchis, the religion of Lorgar's homeworld that came after the so-called Old Faith, which encompassed all-out chaos worship, Colchisian legend also spoke of great prophets, Khan, Tezen, Slanet, and Narag, who made a journey to seek the home of the gods known as the Pilgrimage. From an initial glance, these prophets would represent the Chaos Gods Khorne, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, and Nurgle respectively. But the Chaos Gods were not the only pantheon of godlike beings within the galaxy. There exists an ancient Eldar prophecy in which details the coming of 4 godly beings and the destruction and ruin that will follow within their wake.
The Banshee's call shall wake the dead, when dark portents wax nigh. Heed them as the counsel of a seer or a father. The Ingir, who have slept since the birth of chaos, shall crawl once more from their tombs, thirsting for warmth. The war in heaven shall be as nothing to their vengeance. For the sons of Asuyan, few in number, cannot stand against them. And the eye of Isha shall dim, closing for eternity. Such a gentle goddess cannot witness such atrocities as they shall wreak. The soulless ones shall be the harbingers of the dark fate. Then shall come the living dead, the progeny, then the thirsting ones, the forever damned. And the galaxy shall run red as the blood of Eldanesh. The full moon shall bring forth the dragon. The master of death will drink deep from Isha's eye. That which lies outside will be drawn to the harvest, and the jackal god shall turn brother against brother. The 4 take their place among the stars. Their legions ascendant, unstoppable as the night. A deadly shroud shall fall across the spirit, and the galaxy shall mourn.
This prophecy references the 4 most powerful of the C'tan. The piece of particular interest here is the line, "The Jackal God shall turn brother against brother." The Jackal God is the Eldar name for the C'tan Mephethran, also known as the Deceiver. Given how the Deceiver is a master manipulator, such as provoking the Gothic War with the intention of destroying the Blackstone fortresses, it's entirely possible through one way or another the Deceiver itself managed to manipulate Erebus into orchestrating the events of the Horus Heresy, which turned the forces of the Legio Astartes against one another. It's also worth noting that the Marines of the Astartes are known as Battle Brothers. There are also the events of the novel Betrayer, where the demon bound to Argal Tal refers to Erebus as Deceiver. Now admittedly, this could just be a throwaway insult uttered by the demon in reference to Erebus's eventual murdering of Argal Tal, but it could also have a more esoteric interpretation, referencing how Erebus himself was under the ultimate influence of the C'tan, allowing the Horus Heresy to occur, and, ultimately, by weakening the largest empire currently within the galaxy, paved the way for the return of the Necrons to wipe out all life within the galaxy. But how could the Deceiver have been able to influence Erebus? It's entirely possible that Erebus came across a fraction of the Catan, as the Catan themselves have long been shattered into shards. If a shard was discovered but unable to manifest a deceiver physically, it's entirely possible that the power within the shard could have manipulated Erebus. It's important to know that artifacts did exist during the Great Crusade that could have been made from Catan shards. One such possible artifact were the Anathames. Anathames were sword-like weapons produced by a Xenos race called the Kinibrak, of which several came into possession of the human civilization known as the Interex, and were said to be made out of a sentient metal. The Interex themselves had no knowledge of how these weapons were manufactured, but it's entirely feasible that these weapons were crafted from the broken shards of a Catan. If the Interex were able to come across several of these sentient blades, then it is possible that the same sentient metal could have been discovered on other worlds, potentially including Colchis, to be discovered by someone whom the Jackal God could then manipulate. Thanks for watching.